special time, where we take this worldwide. Let's go. Listen. So now it's time to turn it up. Surf the radio waves as we begin to burn it up. We all up in your area like landscape, definitely bringing you the pancakes. It's a mandate that you tune in. It's time to move out so we can move in and recognize that this is no illusion. I'm here to clear the air so that there is no confusion. It all started off in the book of Genesis when Jacob was wrestling with who he thought was his nemesis. And when the man saw he couldn't overpower him, he touched his hip but he really couldn't devour him. And from that point, then we hear a name change, rearrange the game, so now we gotta change lanes. So I'm here to let you know it's time to listen to the Pancake and Powerslam Show. Let's go! Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Powerslam. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Powerslam. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Powerslam Show. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Powerslam. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Powerslam. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Powerslam Show. Turn it up.
Yo. What's up, everybody? Got a bit of a headache today, but that's okay because we're going to partay anyway. What doctors say. Pay and pay. What's today? What's episode over here? 537? 537. Episode 537 with Pete and Pete chilling here with the family as we do every Tuesday. Oh, as always, y'all, we having a good time. We having a good time for P&P. We're gonna talk about Dolph Ziggler. Why did he super kick Austin Theory? Oh, no longer Austin. Because his boss told him to drop his first name. Told him to drop his first name. How lame. His name is Theory. One word name. Theory. Yeah, some people got one word names and it's okay, but his is lame. His name is Theory. Bring Austin back. Because Theory's kind of whack, yo. Listen, Money in the Bank, though. Money in the Bank, though. Future world champ? Not really feeling it. Not really feeling it. Not really feeling it. Yo. It's funny because P&P always get the exclusives. I'm talking to some people inside to get some free tickets to go see AEW. AEW's coming here on August the 3rd. So, yeah. So, I don't pay for tickets. I don't pay for tickets. I don't pay for tickets to go see wrestling events. I have way too many connections. I've got some connections in AEW to get free tickets. And that's what I'm going to do. So that's what I'm going to do. So to do some media for AEW. All right. All right. What's going on, everybody? What's up, Josh? C Rise in the building. Lexi is in the building. I'm trying to find my. There we go. There we go. Which one is this one? Okay. There we go. Let's jump right into these questions, y'all. Chris is in the building. He's asking, what do you think they're doing with Robert Roode now? I don't think they know. I think that this was he's been working with Theory and house shows. And he's been working with Theory and house shows. I'm talking to some insiders here. I received the texts right at the countdown. So yeah, I mean, WWE doesn't know. I don't think WWE knows what they're going to do with Robert Roode. They may have him just hold off and be on the sidelines for a while after they do this with Ziggler, turning him a babyface, just to probably turn him heel again and go with Roode. So, I mean, they don't know. I mean, the Dirty Dogs haven't been of any relevance for quite some time now. So, it's sad because it's so much wasted potential to not have Robert Roode be a part of your weekly television program. Such wasted potential. And yeah, I mean, they want Ziggler to be a part of this deal because they want to put Theory over. Dolph Ziggler is a name enough to make Theory look better, but what does that even mean if Dolph Ziggler hasn't been booked strongly? It doesn't really mean much. That's the reason why this 50-50 crap sucks, because essentially what it does is it makes the competitor that you're going against doesn't make them look very much stronger, because because the 50-50 booking. People don't look strong. How can I look stronger to someone who doesn't look strong? So it's just terrible booking, terrible way that you're booking characters. And unfortunately, you're seeing it. You're seeing it. You're trying to build characters with people who, I mean, Ziggler's fantastic in the ring. I mean, if anybody's going to go against or elevate the in-ring work of Theory, it's going to be Ziggler for sure. But ultimately elevating him as a character, that's not a major quality win, for against Dolph Ziggler. So yeah, we'll see how that goes, but that is the reason why he is competing against Ziggler. Odd. It just kind of came from nowhere, but ultimately I can just see Roode either hanging out in the sidelines until this angle's over, which will probably be either next week or the week after. I mean, he has a title match at SummerSlam, so I don't see this going too far. And so if it goes after SummerSlam, I don't see it going too far either. So yeah. So let's put this on there, but I don't put profanity on my screen. So that's my first time interviewing Tino. Thank you, Chris. I really enjoyed it. I love interviews that just doesn't feel like the time doesn't feel like it's lapsed very much. And yeah, man. I mean, like I've done this long enough to know who I vibe with. And Tino was definitely one of those guys. It was very easy. I like when wrestlers make my job easier. And Tino did that today. Thought Raw was very meh. Hey, yeah. I mean, that's why I think about Raw every week. Apart from Heyman's promo, nothing else excited me. Yeah. Well, I'll be watching Rock's new movie, Super League of Pets, and then in October, Black Adam. Maybe. I'm not quite sure. Maybe. Card for SummerSlam is meh. Agreed. Oh, we've got somebody who is going to be deleted. Yes. Don't you dare come up on my channel with that mess. Jimmy, did I hear about the recent comments made by Jordan Grace about Benoit not being able to handle today's talent in the ring? What are your thoughts on that? I did hear about that. I don't agree at all. I mean, just it was something about the concussion and something about not being able to handle today's talent. She did come, to her defense. I know Conan just roasted her. I mean, just decapitated her basically. But she put some money in. She apologized and then she donated to charity. So dealing with concussions. So she did make up for it. So I mean, it was her opinion. I mean, people get roasted for opinions nowadays. I mean, it's okay to disagree with someone's opinion without villainizing them. So I mean, people get so they're so sensitive. They're so sensitive. But I mean, I didn't agree with her opinion, but hey, it was an opinion. C-Rye. NXT had very good matches tonight. C-Rye, the NXT correspondent for PNP. Very nice. NXT had very good matches tonight, especially the opening Apollo Crews versus Vinny Vici. But then 1 week after, Cora and Roxanne won the tag titles. I did hear about that, actually. So Cora J turned on Roxanne. Oh, that's weird. Why would you have Cora Jade as a heel? I think she was a pretty good face from what I saw about her. So they win the championship, they win the tag titles, and Cora Jade turned on Roxanne? That doesn't make sense because So Mandy is the champ. You turn on your partner. Since you are choosing to be a partner, you reach the pinnacle of what partners can do, which is winning the tag team championships. So you turn on your partner for what? To feud with her? Why would you feud with her when you are tag champs? Now you're deciding to be a singles, and the singles champion is the person who competed against your partner. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense at all. Giovanni Fabian Achner. Michael's in the building. What's up? Did I see that Paul Heyman double crossing both Reigns and Lesnar and siding with Theory at SummerSlam? That's an interesting concept there. The only problem here's the problem. Heyman guys didn't work because Heyman was more over than the guy. The reason why I worked for CM Punk because CM Punk was more over than Paul Heyman. The reason why I worked for Brock Lesnar all this time because Brock Lesnar is more over than Paul Heyman. The reason why I work for Roman Reigns is because Roman Reigns is more over than Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman is over, so he just he just adds another layer to someone who's already over, and that's what makes them bigger. He makes a big person bigger. That's what Paul Heyman has the ability to do. he makes not only in stature but in popularity. He makes a big person bigger. He doesn't make a medium person big. He does that's not his niche. Even when he was with Big Show, for instance, like he makes a big person bigger. And so I don't think that someone who's in a mid-card status like Theory is going to benefit being a Heyman guy. Because if you think about it, you have Cesaro, didn't work. You have Ryback, didn't work. You have Curtis Axel, didn't work. 3 mid-card guys who was trying to get a Heyman rub, but it didn't work because they weren't big characters. They weren't big names getting bigger by Paul Heyman. They were mid-card names who was basically getting overshadowed by the personality of Paul Heyman. And Paul Heyman was looking like the more over person in all of those dynamics because they just weren't big enough. So, there's your boo. Boo. That's what I gotta say about that. That's an interesting question. If I was a wrestler, pick a name for you. How about the United Kingman? And you start you a faction called the United Kingman. You should be Ricky King, okay, because you're a UK guy. You should be Ricky King, and from a play on the United Kingdom, you should start a faction called the United Kingman. There you go. You're welcome. No, because there's no point. This will be his 32nd year. Like 2 years ago, yes, because he debuted in 90. That was his 30th year. This is year 32. There's not really much significance to it. Nah. What's awesome? Thank you. But that's what's awesome. Ziggler's going to take the case from Theory. It's too early for Theory to be champion. No, I don't think Ziggler's going to take the case. Yeah, it's too early for Theory to be champion. Yes, but you have a year. You know what I was thinking about that? So Money in the Bank's in July. It'd be kind of cool if Money in the Bank was. I was thinking about 2 theories here. I was thinking that Money in the Bank could possibly be before July 2nd next year, like June, late June. So it would still be within the year. And you know what would be cool? If someone won the contract and they did one of 2 things. Either one, someone won the contract that night, cashed it in, and then the person who had last year's contract cashing in on them, or the person who, or we see 2 cash-ins in one night for if they split the titles at that time. But if they don't, maybe one person cash in and the other person cash in on them. That would be pretty funny. But I don't see Ziggler getting the contract. Otherwise, he'd cash it in on Reigns and lose, most likely, because he's definitely not going to win. Do you think that Theory is going to go into what? Get the belt, maybe? I think that he's going to be champion. I think that's definitely a Vince McMahon thing. Certainly a McMahon thing. I don't see it. I just don't see it in Theory. I don't see it. I don't think, he doesn't ooze megastar to me. And you can't just force people to become stars. We've got to see stories. We've got to see buy-in. People just, as a whole, there are people who think that Theory has a big future. I mean, he has potential, but right now, I just do not see it in Theory as far as a star is concerned. I don't see it. Even his U.S. championship, to me, felt forced. It all felt forced. And that's not how you make a star. Because John Cena felt forced in 2002, and he almost got fired. And so if people want to, like I said, if people want to compare Theory to Cena, that's not really a good thing to compare him to 2002 Cena, 2002, 2003 Cena, because 2002, 2003 Cena almost got fired because he had a shelf life of just being some generic, character. It just didn't work out too well. Eventually, if Reigns is on a pay-per-view, they can take all of my money. Okay. Glad you know that. I'm glad you share that. What do you think of the latest story regarding Lesnar and the accusations made by Jericho? Do you believe them? Okay, let's see what we're talking about here. Let's see. Let's bring this up here. He was on True Gordy. Okay, I'm gonna look at that. So I'm gonna bring up let's bring up Sport article. See what they wrote about it. All right, let's do this. Let's bring this up and see. Let's see. Okay. All right, here we go. Let's bring this Joker up here. I'm gonna bring this up, Lexi. I'm gonna bring up the article. I'm sharing my screen. Let's do this. Let's share it. Let's share my screen. All right, there we go. Let's do this. Let's read this thing here. All right. Let's bring this thing up even more so we all can read it even more. Enlarge this thing. All right, here we go. Former WWE superstar Chris Jericho. Let's even make it bigger. There we go. Former WWE star Chris Jericho has alleged that Brock Lesnar used words that would get him canceled when they had a real-life altercation backstage. Lesnar and Jericho had an argument backstage at WWE SummerSlam in 2016 after the former's match against Randy Orton. During the match, the Beast Incarnate busted open the Viper. So when he did a shoot, I did know about the altercation when Jericho said something to Lesnar backstage about him shoot, busting him open. So he said, I was in gorilla position. I was blinking, angry about it, and Brock Lesnar came through and he saw me angry about it, and he decided he wanted to challenge me. And we got into a little bit of an issue. I was like, blink this guy. I don't give a blank how big he is. I don't blink and care. It's wrong. I will fight to the death. I will stand up to what I believe in till death. Okay. So Lesnar used homophobic terms. I remember being literally nose to nose with the guy. He was laughing, and he was actually saying things like what will probably get him canceled. If I said them like homophobic terms, you shouldn't be saying. Well, there you go. He thought of biting Lesnar's nose when he was face to face. Triple H and Victor Man came between the two Lesnars, split them apart. Well, there you go. There's no reason for me not to believe that. I think it's certainly believable. Now I did know that I did know about the incident in 2016 that caused Jericho to speak up again after the Orton incident. So I did know that much. So yeah, I mean, I believe it was true. I mean, I can see that. I can see Lesnar, doing that and smiling. Definitely I can see him smiling. To him. I can definitely see Jericho standing up. For the Orton situation. But I think it would be weird for Jericho if Orton agreed to it, though. I think that would be odd if Orton agreed to it. I don't think that it was, if he decided to take matters in his own hands and just shoot, bust them open, that would be one thing. But if Orton agreed to it, I mean, okay. I mean, it is what it is. Because he's not going to, I mean, he's going to lose to Lashley because they're trying to get Lashley a rub out of this too, which is odd. I mean, I think they should give Lashley a rub, but at the expense of someone who won the Money in the Bank, who's trying to get over and trying to be a star. That's odd. But he's not going to lose against Ziggler. Elvis Belief Theory should be the King of the Ring next year if they have King of the Ring. Yeah. Josh, nice. Give us some takes at SummerSlam. You're going to Nashville. Do you live in Nashville, Josh, or nearby? That's pretty cool. Lonzo's in the building. What's up? It was rumored that she was going to turn on Roxana Perez. Well, why have him win the titles, or why do it a week after? Have some dissension or something like that. What's up with this hot shot crap? Jimmy, if I were WWE, I would book Theory like a true heel. He would get more hate if he went backstage and attacked producers and legends like HBK, Shane Helms, and Matt Bloom and AK Albert. I think that'd be a better angle. I mean, because right now he doesn't really have a gimmick. He's someone who likes, he feels like a fanboy who just likes taking selfies. Like, you really call that a world champion gimmick? What? When Bayley and Charlotte return, how would you book them? I think Charlotte's going to beat Liv Morgan. I think Charlotte's going to be the one who returns to SmackDown. That's where she was. And she's going to turn. And I mean, she's heel. And I think Charlotte's going to be the one who beats Liv. Now, I would be interested. What interests me is if Charlotte wins as a heel, say this is Survivor Series, maybe, I guess. Although they do this stupid brand versus brand crap at Survivor Series, which is so stupid. But maybe Clash of the Castle, perhaps. I don't see Liv having a long reign, probably a couple months or so. But I can see Charlotte beating Liv, and I think it would be cool if Bayley comes back as a babyface to feud with Charlotte. Yep. Should Dominic turn on Ray and join the Judgment Day? Yes. He'll promos on Ray with stuff like "You were never there for me growing up. You're a horrible father, and I'm telling you, being in my shadow. I'm being in the shadow." Yeah, check out an episode that Vince Russo and I did on our show, Riding with Russo. We talked about this months ago on Sports Keto. Just scroll through that. It was one of the shows that I came up with to pick. Three. I think we each of us chose three names who would benefit being a part of Judgment Day. I said Finn, Dominic, and T-Bar, and Finn is in, and it looks like Dominic is in. So clearly, they're paying attention to my creativity. Nice, Ricky King. Yeah, Ricky King. Yes, AEW is coming to my area in the first week of August. With Reigns missing Extreme Rules, does it mean that he wins the Clash of the Castle? Because if he's not champion, then why does it matter if he's at Extreme Rules? He's not going to win a Clash of the Castle. So, yeah. Extreme Rules is, what is Extreme Rules? Is that in October? If he loses, it would make sense for him to lose, for him not to be at Extreme Rules. October 8th, yeah. So if he loses in September, it would make sense for him not to be there in October, because why would he be there if he won? If he has the title, why would he be there if he's not champion? Like it would be a higher demand for him to be there if he was champion. If the Street Profits ever break up, they shouldn't. Who should the babyface and who should be the heel? I think Montez Ford should be the babyface. I think he has a super good charisma. I think he has mic work that has the ability to bring people in with him. He also has a very riveting and exciting finisher with his frog splash. So, but unfortunately, I don't think the Street Profits should break up, because whether Angelo Dawkins is a babyface or a heel, I think that his career really hinges upon the Street Profits, and that's okay. I mean, here's the thing: if your lane from a career perspective is a tag team wrestler, that's fine. Just be the best tag team wrestler you possibly can. There's people who are like, you know what? I really want to be. I really like Bubba, for instance, Bubba Ray. Dudley talked about this. Like, he always wanted to be a tag team wrestler. Like, he grew up, like, when his experiences from what he saw in wrestling, he really, really loved tag team wrestling. So, I mean, there's certain people who, I mean, he, as a singles, he ended up, doing some really good work in TNA, becoming champion. But at the end of the day, though, I mean, like, there's people who are like, you know what? I am designed to be a tag team wrestler. And it wouldn't make sense for me not to be a tag team wrestler, because that's not my lane. It's okay. And you can be one of the greatest tag teams of all time. That could be your goal. Like, for instance, Hawk and Animal. Like, neither of them really had a good singles run. I ended up becoming good friends with Animal. We had a show together. And, the LOD, the Road Warriors, is my all-time favorite tag team. But neither of them really had successful singles runs, because they're a tag team. They're a tag team. And then Hawk ended up teaming up with other, like Kensuke Sasaki, and in New Japan, Power Warrior, and so Animal, I mean, he had a stint, he had a hiatus, he came back and it was in some like chaps, like on SmackDown, and was it early 2000s or mid 2000s when it that run, that last SmackDown run was just awful. I mean, like for someone who actually liked Animal more than Hawk, I liked both of them, but for some reason for someone who was a huge Animal fan, um that last SmackDown run, I was so disappointed at that. Let me see, because I know that he was feuding with Matt Hardy. 2000 six. Yeah, 2006 is when he became, was it was a heel. It was called the Road Warrior. What in the heck? Yeah, so he was teaming with Matt Hardy, and going against Eminem, and then I think he turned on Matt Hardy and became the Road Warrior and was in some chaps and just horrible, man. He lost to Matt Hardy in 17 seconds on April 11th, 2006. He lost to Matt Hardy in 17 seconds on an episode of SmackDown. I mean, stuff like that, man. What? Horrible. So my point is, if you're a tag team wrestler, it's okay. Remain a tag team wrestler. Yeah, no contract in it. That was funny. That was pretty funny. Oh, it's not sold out. Very interesting. The Royal Rumble, you're guaranteed championship if you win. How about not all the time though. There hasn't been everybody hasn't had a guaranteed title. Guaranteed win from the Royal Rumble. How about if you hang the case up the Royal Rumble and combine Money in the Bank? No, make them two different things. It's all right. Bianca's opponent at SummerSlam will be thinking either Becky Lynch or a triple threat, which I don't care about. I mean, Carmella added in this at all is not good. It's not fun. It doesn't make any sense. But she beat Bianca Belair by count out. So it wouldn't be surprising to me if they decide to put in Carmella for a triple threat match. Oh, that would be horrible. Liv is getting great reaction to house shows and selling a lot of merch, so I say keep her champion until Mania. I like Liv. I just don't see that's going to happen. Early prediction: which team will make the Super Bowl next one? Packers will be a good Super Bowl. Titans, because I'm biased. And from the NFC, I'm going to go with let's do sure. I mean, Packers and Titans. There you go. I'm not sure. We shall see. I mean, I don't. I'll just have to watch and see what it looks like. Way too early predictions. I did see that, and then Melter came up with just some weird explanation for that. Well, it seems like this. It could have been that. It really didn't seem like it was Liv's thing. That doesn't make sense because why would I? If Natalya was upset about Liv Morgan. Now, if Natalya was not upset about Liv Morgan and she did the oblivion or whatever to her, and she took the pen and she got it right up and started pointing at her and wrote out, if it wasn't a Liv Morgan thing, why would she do that? That's just weird. That doesn't make any sense of that explanation. From what someone theorized online. Natalia was trying to get something out of her eye, and then Liv did the finisher while she was doing that. So, and if that's true, because he did a steal or she did a steal, whoever the Twitter user was, did a steal on it. And I'm like, if that's true, come on, Natalia. Not good. She might have thought that she can have a little bit more leeway to do something like that since it is a house show, but people still record at house shows. Come on. Lexi, what do you think the thought process was when having Davario work as a producer while he performed in AEW Dark as a performer? He probably wasn't under contract for Dark, and they probably just wanted. I know that Sean works. His brother Sean works as a producer, and they just probably wanted him in as a trial run because they let him go. And then they brought him back, him and Curtis Axel, and then they let him go again. They released both of them again. So these producers, man, I mean, it just seems like they are scapegoats to a sense, man. They really, I mean, they have, they work on matches and they are the agent for the particular match, but a lot of them don't even really have that opportunity to like actually have their own match. They just kind of run in, do all those pull apart angles. Carmella and Becky Lynch at SummerSlam, I'm guessing. Why would it be that? They're two heels. But so both of them against Becky, against Bianca. Yeah, I think so. Unfortunately, if they do the horrible brand versus brand thing, indeed, horrible brand thing at Survivor Series, is going to have face himself. Right, exactly. Like Roman Reigns versus Roman Reigns at Survivor Series, or Drew McIntyre versus Drew McIntyre at Survivor Series. Cut the brand versus brand crap. If Ray turns on Dom for what? Raid of Judgment Day? That wouldn't make any sense. My thoughts about the Maximum Male models, Max Dupree, Marseille, and Mansoir on SmackDown. I think it's comedy, but I think it's a horrible way to place those two characters, those two people who are employees for the company, or not employees, independent contractors for the company. It's not. It has a very low shelf life. It's not a very promising opportunity for either one of them. It just seems like some big comic. It seems like it's popping Vince McMahon. That's what it feels like. It feels like Vince McMahon, I mean, he doesn't know anything about NXT. He looked at them and he said, what about this? This is what I want. I want male models. And they're like, okay, Vince, I've got the trio for you. I've got Eli Drake down there, LA Knight. He's going to go from Eli Drake to LA Knight to Max Dupree. Oh man. And I've been saying this for a while. I think Drake should be a manager. I've been saying that for a long time. He should be a manager. I am 100% on board with Eli Drake being a manager. Really good promo guy. Really, really, really good. All right. I think because to me, like I said before, months ago, actually last year, I said that Dupree or Eli Drake, he has the ability to become a manager. And when that manager stint expires, he should be doing commentary. And I think he should retire doing commentary. I think he would be a fantastic color guy. Absolutely. I think that he would be a really, really, really good color commentator after he has a stint as a manager. But managing Marseille and Monsoir. Okay, so are they going to be tag team champions? And who cares? Who's really buying them to be credible talent with this type of gimmick? No, thank you. That would be horrible if they split up. It would just be absolutely pointless. Special guest referee would be R-Truth. Obviously Brock isn't winning at SummerSlam, so how would you use him? Would you put him against the future? Former Brock is so fun to watch. Farmer Brock is so fun to watch, but he doesn't have to go for the title all the time. I agree. He doesn't just have to go for the title all the time. You know what? Interesting statistic. Brock Lesnar has not wrestled on Raw since July of 2002. 20 years since he's wrestled on Raw. It's been 20 years. Yeah. I like Farmer Brock. He wasn't even supposed to be here. It was supposed to be Orton and Reigns. He was just a plan B. I mean, he was just a last minute replacement for Orton, who got injured longer than expected. So right now it's supposed to be Orton Reigns. So Lesnar is not going to beat Reigns. He's going to lose against Reigns. So they're trying to make it a last man standing so it can be different in last match, final match, whatever, because it makes it seem like Lesnar is going to win. But I mean, all roads, at least most roads lead to Reigns winning, which he should. Reigns should win. Lesnar winning and breaking the streak and having both belts and not being there for a while, having that Brock schedule. No. Do we know the woman Vince paid the $12 million in his mess? No. There's a lot of speculation, but no, we don't. Yeah, but that's not always a win, really. There's no leader, and that's what makes it bad. What do you think the chances of Edge reappearing with Bray could be? Very, 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 very slim. Sort of a new faction, so you're jumping from a faction to another faction. I don't see Edge and Bray. I don't see that happening. Ciampa back in 2005 was a clean-shaved lawyer for Muhammad Hassan. He was Tim somebody. I was like, yep, I do remember that. I think he went by his real name, Thomas Whitney or something like that. And that his real name? Yeah, Thomas Whitney or something like that. Let's see what his real name is. His real name is Tommaso Whitney. There you go. Okay. So, yeah. All right. PMP fam. Man, that went fast. Time flies when you're having fun, y'all. Very nice. All right. Let's get this outro going on, man. Let's do this. It's time to go. Yeah, it's time to go. It's time to go. Either next week or the week after, Elvis. Technically, he's right. Just a moral failure, but not the legal failure. Unless he gets pinged for harassment, that would be a legal issue right there. But we don't know, because they all have an NDA, non-disclosure agreement. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Lexi and Michael and Ricky. P&P. Thank you, Dion, as well. P&P, I'll see you later. I'll see you later.